Hey there, Scrapper Names fans. How are we all? I am back with a Project Life spread for you today. This is actually a bit of an epic one. It goes for this video is for the 2 pages, but it actually went for like 3 pages. Just documenting a trip we took down to Wollongong a few weeks ago in July, which is more than a few weeks ago, for my partner's brother and his wife's 10-year wedding anniversary. They live in Wollongong, so it was absolutely beautiful to escape the yucky cold Canberra weather, which you'll see shortly exactly what I mean by that in the comparison of the two. I'm using some papers in this spread from the Heidi Swap Magnolia Jane 12 by 12 paper pad. I used those to create most of my Project Life cards, journal cards and whatnot. Alright, so what you can see here is I've done the main title card, which is a photo of the two of them, and I've used some stickers to say, just to jot down 10 years. These pieces are just some, what do they call them, like epoxy stickers. This one's just a little heart. I brought this pack from a craft fair here a few weeks back from I can't remember the store name. I know they all wore yellow. Yeah, so I can't remember the store name, but yeah, so I brought these from there. They were just a bit different. They were a bit cute, and they have bunnies in the pack, so I thought that would be great. Now that card is done. I do try and remember to show you my cards. I'm still not great with that. Feels like forever since I've done a Project Life spread. Alright. What am I up to? Probably up to the next, yeah. So this paper, which you can't actually see, is like a watercolour pale green. You can't see it very well on camera. I just thought it contrasted really well against that title card, which is sort of the black and white stripe, which I was really surprised I used. And I think that's probably why I backed the photo onto something a bit sort of white, just to make it stand out a bit more. Now, I had already, I think, pre-cut these photos and decided where they were going. I don't know if I go through the whole process with you of cutting everything down. Probably don't. This video does go for a bit, but I could be wrong. Alright, so I wanted to do something on this card that was soft but would still sort of stand out a little bit. So I went for this pink doily because I knew I'd tie some pink in with the paper as well, with the papers I use. But I needed something in the background, which I may play around with some tags here, which you'll see me sort of have a fluff around with. Again, I don't think I show you all of it. Could be wrong. Tried that tag, but it didn't work. And then I think I tried some plain tags. I'm running low on tags, I've discovered, so I'll have to buy some more, I think. Not that I use them all that much, but yeah, I will use them at times. I wasn't sure how I was going to do this card. I didn't want it to be another like filler card or a journal card or what. I ended up turning it into a bit of a filler card, which you'll see by playing around with these. I definitely wanted to keep the pink doily there just to sort of bring some, what am I trying to say, ground the card a little bit because it's very white. It just floats there. And this is what I eventually come up with. So those two tags on top of each other, I've cut them down, or cut the brown tag down. I just thought the brown tags are okay depending on the layout. This was to be a, I guess, a gentle sort of, you know, love kind of layout. So the brown tag was just a bit too harsh. So I put the little white one on top just to soften it up a bit with that doily. What you can see here is me just flicking out stamps. I was going through my stamp collection, so I decided that I'm going to stamp a bit of a background stamp on that, on the paper, and then the words one you can see has happy anniversary in it, so I use that. Not sure I was completely happy with what I did with this filler card, but it worked. It looked all right. I just don't know if it's quite what I'd had in mind, I guess. trying to make a bit of a habit to use a bit more of my stamps. And use stamping a bit more. I've got a few stamps there that have not even been opened, so I'd like to get them going. So I'm just using my little tiny stapler there just to staple them together so they hold place. I do put some thread through the hole on the tag there, I think, because that's why the green bunny lid there is for my threading. Alright, now stamp on the tag, just using the StazOn ink as well, just because it will hold to this sort of surface, that glossy sort of surface that is the tag. Again, I'm not 100% sure I was completely happy with how this one worked out, but I just rolled with it just to see. Sometimes I'm not always happy and then I come back to it and fix it. So I don't think I did with this one, but yeah. Alright. Now I'm just going to commit to it all, sit it down and say, call it done. Alright. Nothing too exciting here. Alright, now I don't know if I pop anything else. I may or may not. I haven't got, again, another voiceover without the spread sitting next to me. I've had to come to my bedroom actually because I have my niece and my daughters playing out in the lounge room. So as you could probably hear, it is slightly noisier out there than what it is in here. Oh, that's right. I add these beautiful little crepe paper. Are they crepe paper? Hello, love. Is that right? Stickers. Oh, and a bit of washi. That's yes. This is some of the washi pack from Magnolia Jane as well. Now, this gold washi says treasure every day. It is really quite beautiful. It's a thin strip of washi, which is nice. I just thought adding them would add a bit of colour, a bit more colour to the card, as well as just to finish it off a little bit around that edge. I just, yeah. There you go. See, I do remember sometimes. Alright, now what I've done is I took some photos, and I'm not usually one to remember this, of the weather as we left Canberra, which is one photo there you can see is of the reading in the car of how cold it was outside, which was like 9 a.m. and it was like -2 or something like that. And then a picture is of how foggy it was when we were leaving and it was like 9 o'clock in the morning. And then a lovely other picture of how sunny it was and lovely looking it was when we entered Wollongong. So yeah. Now that little Project Life card is actually from a core kit, which I think was the Currently edition, it's called, I think. And I've just journaled about this on there, just adding some little enamel dots and like a wood grain cork kind of looking chipboard piece. And then that one's done. I don't do too much with it. It doesn't need too much. Now I use my white pen here. As I said, it was freezing. So that's all I'm jotting down on there. It was ridiculous, 9 a.m. and it was still -2, foggy and yuck. Gotta love this kind of weather. Here's a picture of it, how foggy it was. Yeah, the sun was trying to come through, but yeah. So we left like this and came home in the dark. So God only knows if the day got any better. So we were just lucky it was a beautiful day turned on at Wollongong. Oh, little sticky fingers looking at my enamel pieces there. Now this video is Friday. Normally this would have been up by now, but I just hadn't had a chance to do the voiceover. So this will go up sometime later today for you. As promised, I was trying to keep to a bit of a schedule. Yeah, there we go. I don't know where that pink card, I think it might be the currently edition as well. I try, and if I'm going to use a kit, sometimes I try and use the same one so I know that it's sort of coordinated. Not always the way, but sometimes. And that little round piece of ephemera there it says Choose Joy, and it's from the Girl Squad collection that come in my August Kitaholic kit. Oh, look, I have a helper. Bless her. So cute when I see videos with her little fingers on there. This is a photo of my partner with his daughter, so my stepdaughter. It's a gorgeous photo of the two of them. This spread goes into our family album. So as I've said in other videos, I have a family album, and then I have albums for each of the kids. So this one has general sort of pictures of the day of all of us, and then each of the other albums, if I'm going to document this, like I'll put that photo of her in her album with, a couple other photos of the day and stuff like that. Sometimes I do, as I said before, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just go, no, the kids' album is just going to be special events related to them. And then sometimes I think, oh, well, my point of this is when I'm old and then gone, I guess, is that they'll get to have these memories to share with their kids. So, maybe it needs to have a bit of everything in there. How else do you guys scrap? I don't know, what's your theory behind it? Like I just said, mine is so that when I'm gone, they'll have something to look back on and they can tell their kids about their life with us, and have stories to tell. Yeah, that's sort of my purpose of doing it. Oh, there you go. So some close-ups of the first page and now the second one. So I don't make you sit here and watch. You'll see I do have this photo sorted. There's quite a fair few there. I will cut this in a minute to me starting on the cards. I'm just placing down where all my photos are going to go, and I work from there. As you can see, voila, they're all done. I cut out some of the boring bits, I do promise. So yeah, just cutting out this again. All these papers are from the Magnolia Jane set. Just cutting these all down to fit properly and back them with some of these papers. What am I doing? Researching through papers. Yep. I use some different pattern papers here that are a bit different for me. Like this one and the black and white stripe one I would normally probably not use. I don't know why. Maybe the patterns scare me a bit. I'm not sure. But I thought I'd step out and try them because this is some of the papers that are in there. So obviously knowing then that it's coordinated and things like that. And it works well. What I do find is that, like I did with the title card, I back the photos, I sort of lay the photos on a different bit of paper just to sort of contrast against the backing colour, if that makes sense. Very technical terms I use, guys. Yep, I am the technical scrapper. And sometimes I don't put a lot of thought into things. I just sort of go with the flow too. I mean, I sound like I know, I'm being technical, but I'm not really. All right. I have run away somewhere. Where have I run away to? Maybe looking through the core kit for some more cards, I'm guessing. I usually try and been getting into the habit of filming these videos, then editing them within a day or so of doing it and voiceovering them at the same time. So that way everything's fresh in my mind. Especially last week, I actually had a bit of a run on the weekend of making a couple of different spreads and layouts and bits and pieces. So I've had a few videos to be going and doing. But yeah, this one I just hadn't quite got to finishing off. I tried using this little phone piece. Again, it was all from the Girl Squad. It just didn't, obviously, it just doesn't match. It's not suited to what, even though he's been crazy in this picture, it just doesn't suit it very well. So let's sort of scrap that and come up with something else, which I'm sure will come out shortly. What did I put on there? Tag. Now, was this part of the Chamel cut apart sheet? Not 100% sure. That's my niece, if you can hear in the back, my littlest niece. She's having a bit of a hissy because she's stuck on the floor, so I might have to go and get her. And she can help with the voiceover, so this can go up today for you. Oh, nope, she's okay. So this pen here is a NuvoScript font, whatever it's called, pen. They come in really handy. They in order to do that really nice sort of scripty font. Not as nice as Adele from Inky Quill, but still pretty all right for me anyway. I think I've just written having fun there. All right, these little Scold word stickers are just a DIY shop one I got from Spotlight. I love these. I really do. I haven't used them for a bit, and then, yeah, I have now. I was using them a lot, so I had sort of a bit of a supply happening of them when I could grab them. But I do. I just like the words on them. They're, you know, pretty funky. Okay, I am back. Sorry, I had to take girls to preschool. Now, just finishing off this card here, just adding some little rhinestones. They're Kaiser Craft ones. And there you go. It is a plain white background with that geometric pattern in it, so I just thought it needed a little bit of bling to make it pop a little bit more. I keep disappearing, don't I? I usually try and cut these bits out, but I must be doing something productive. Wasn't sure what to put on this photo here, so I used this little leftover pieces of pattern paper from the Girl Squad collection. I think this one was. These are just some scraps that were sitting on my desk. And make a little banner piece out of it, just to write some journaling on. So this is just my daughter and her cousin playing funny faces with the photo props that were there as well on the day, which, as you can see, we all had a bit of a go with bunny ears and whatever else. We also had flower crowns given to us as well, which was cool, which was pretty cool. It was a very garden-themed kind of party, which was really beautiful. It did really well. So I'm just using the same Project Life card here that was on the back, so I'm just, flipping it around, and I'm just going to embellish it a little bit. I think I use this to also pop a little bit of journaling on, just to match a little bit with what's up the top there, the banner I just made. And this little yellow frame is just something random that was sitting in my stash from an older kit, I think, from memory. I'm not always one to use frames, I don't know why. It's kind of a thing, I don't know why. But I'm getting better with them. Does anyone else use this other side for the Project Life? I was a bit curious about this. I didn't pick it up, actually. It was my, it's my mother-in-law. She picked it up when looking through my album a long, long time ago, and it said about why I didn't use the back of them to put photos in as well. And I was like, oh, that's a great way. It's also a good way to save on page protectors. And I think sort of some room in your album as well. It doesn't make them as full as such, because you're not using two different page protectors, you're just using the one. So does anyone else do that? Do the front and back? I probably do. I've seen plenty of other people do it, but I hadn't picked it up when I first started Project Life a few years back. Those little emoji face things, that's a stamp from Kmart. That was just like $3 or something. I picked it up. It's got some real funky little, emoji faces and little phrases and things like that in it. So it's pretty cool. Something a bit different. So just repeating a little bit of what I did on the first page with the title card here, except I'm using what I backed the photo on the title card as the main 4x6 card, and then just backing that photo of me onto that striped paper there. I don't stick too much of it out, as you'll see, but it's just enough to give a little frame around the photo to pop it out from that white background. Now the background is, like I said, white with those circles on them, or ovals I should say, but it's got like a pink tinge to it as well. So it fits in with that lovely pink kind of theme I have happening around the page, around the spread. What am I looking for? Something to go there. Yeah, so this little floral piece that I have, again, it was just randomly in my blue bucket of random embellishments. So I can't tell you where it came from. I think it was sent to me in a pack that I might have brought off a garage sale site, as usual. Yeah, so I keep disappearing. I have a little blue Kmart trolley, you know, there's a sort of fake version of a Raskog next to me as well when I scrap, and that's got all my main sort of pieces on it. So this has got my blue little random bucket of embellishments in it. So they're all just things that have been sent to me, are left over from previous kits. They just go popped in there, and I just go to that when I'm looking for something a bit random, I guess. There we go. Added another little heart sticker and a gold word sticker, and that one's done. Nice and easy. And this is just a picture of our niece. She was, her and my daughter were having great fun with the photo props. Many photos of them actually from the day. Now these acetate pieces I just brought from the reject shop actually. They've got quite a cool little range here. I'm just playing around trying to stick to this theme of that floral sort of look as well, because as I said, it was outside, it was a bit of a garden theme and whatnot, so I was trying to keep those spread to sort of that kind of theme. And this one's really easy and to do. I don't put too much on it. I don't feel it needs it. And sometimes I go through pages and spreads where I'll embellish heaps, and then others where I go, no, it doesn't need it. Depends on my mood, I guess, how much time I have. Making sure that's all stuck nice and even, and I think that one is done. I tell a lie, I might add a little phrase sticker here from this sticker sheet. Yep, I do. There we go. All done. Now I think this is pretty much done now, so you'll get some close-ups shortly. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions or what you thought. As I said, it was a bit of an epic one. I didn't film the third page. I didn't see the need to. The third page is more sort of just family photos. So give me a like, bit of a thumbs up. Let me know how you go, what you think, and I will see you shortly in another process video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.